All right, let's dive into one of the most talked about nutrients out there, omega-3. You hear about it everywhere, right? Well, today we're going to cut through all the noise and give you a super clear, practical guide on what it is, why you should care, and how to actually get it right.
So, what if I told you that one of the biggest secrets to protecting your heart and your brain wasn't some crazy new discovery, but something that might be missing from your diet right now?
That's right. The answer is often hiding in plain sight, literally right on our plates. But, to really understand the solution, we first have to talk about a hidden problem that's going on in most of our modern diets.
Okay, let's get into it. Our bodies need this really delicate balance of different fats to work the right way. But for most of us, that balance is, it's completely out of whack. And that can lead to this state of constant low-level inflammation.
Think of it like this. Omega-6 fats, which are in pretty much everything these days, they're like the body's fire alarm. They kick off inflammation, which, by the way, is really important for fighting off infections and stuff. But then you have omega-3s. They're the firefighters. Their whole job is to swoop in and put the fire out. See, you need both. But you can probably guess what happens when the alarm is just blaring all the time and there aren't enough firefighters around.
And that's the real problem, right there. Our modern diets have just loaded us up with omega-6s, while our omega-3 intake has plummeted. This constant fire alarm state, this chronic inflammation, is now being linked to a huge range of modern health issues, everything from heart disease to autoimmune problems.
So with that in mind, let's get to know our firefighters a little better. What exactly is this super important nutrient that so many of us are missing out on?
Omega-3 is what we call an essential fatty acid. And that word essential is the absolute key here. It means our bodies 100% need it to function, but they can't make it from scratch. We have to get it from our food. It's totally non-negotiable.
Now, it's not quite that simple, because not all omega-3s are created equal. There are really three main types you need to know about. First, you've got ALA. This one comes from plants. Think flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts. But the real heavy hitters, the ones with the most incredible health benefits, are EPA and DHA. And these guys are found almost exclusively in marine sources, like fatty fish.
All right, now for the part everybody's been waiting for. What can getting enough of these amazing fats actually do for you? Honestly, the benefits are pretty staggering.
First up, let's talk about your heart. The American Heart Association has been shouting about omega-3 for years, and for a very, very good reason.
So how does it work its magic? Well, omega-3 is an absolute powerhouse for your cardiovascular health. It's been shown to slash triglycerides, that's a type of fat in your blood, by up to 30%. It also helps with blood pressure and keeps your blood from getting too sticky, which cuts down the risk of dangerous clots.
But the benefits don't stop at the heart, not even close. Your brain is literally made of fat, and guess what? One specific type of omega-3 is its absolute favorite building material.
This is where DHA really becomes the star of the show. It's a huge structural part of your brain and your retinas. That's why it's so incredibly vital during pregnancy for a baby's development. And later in life, it helps support your memory, helps regulate your mood, and some really promising studies suggest it might even offer some protection against diseases like Alzheimer's.
The main thing to get here is that omega-3 is a full-body nutrient. Its effects ripple out everywhere, touching almost every part of our health.
Hey, remember that chronic inflammation we were talking about earlier? Well, omega-3 fights it directly, which can help with things like arthritis. It also improves your skin health, supports your vision, and some studies are even showing a link between getting enough omega-3 and a lower risk of certain cancers. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, so you're probably convinced you need more omega-3. The next logical question is, where in the world do you find it? Let's break down the best sources.
So it basically breaks down into two main categories. First, you've got your marine sources. These are absolutely packed with those superstars, EPA and DHA. We're talking about fatty fish like salmon and sardines. Then you've got your plant sources, which are rich in that other type, ALA.
And here we have a super important point that a lot of people miss. Okay, so while your body can technically convert some of that plant-based ALA into EPA and DHA, the process is just incredibly bad. Like really inefficient. Some studies suggest the conversion rate can be as low as 5% for EPA and a measly 0.5% for DHA.
So the takeaway here is really clear. While plant sources are great for you, for sure, if you want to get those powerful anti-inflammatory, heart and brain benefits we've been talking about, you have to focus on getting EPA and DHA directly from marine sources or a high-quality supplement.
Now, as with pretty much any nutrient, more is not always better. It's really important to get the dose right so you can get all the benefits without running into any nasty side effects.
For a generally healthy adult, most health organizations recommend a minimum of 250 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA every single day. Just think of that as your baseline, your starting point for basic health.
And on the other end of the spectrum, the generally accepted safe upper limit is about 3,000 milligrams a day. If you start going beyond that, especially without a doctor's supervision, you start to increase your risk of side effects.
So what kind of side effects are we talking about? Well, high doses can thin your blood, which is why it is absolutely critical to talk to your doctor if you're on any blood-thinning medication. It can also cause some digestive upset or low blood pressure. So yeah, moderation is definitely key.
And all this brings us to one final, really important question that I want you to ask yourself. When you look at your own diet, your own habits, are you truly getting enough of this essential nutrient to protect your body and brain for the long haul? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.